Let's talk about Go Shiozaki and Kento Miyahara. So Go Shiozaki obviously returned to All Japan Pro Wrestling. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. We were not sure exactly where his landing spot was going to be. Is he going to go freelance? Is he going to go to New Japan? Is he coming to WWE to work, in NXT? We didn't know. We had no idea what Go Shiozaki's next plan was. He popped up in All Japan Pro Wrestling as a member of Havoc, the heel stable in All Japan Pro Wrestling. And pretty quickly here, October 22nd, yesterday, right? Yeah, just yesterday. He had a Triple Crown match against Kento Miyahara, who, by the way, did win the Triple Crown back from Saito. So Kento Miyahara is your Triple Crown champion. And they decided to do it in Korakuen Hall. Raising an Army Memorial Series 2025 in Korakuen Hall. 1322 in the building to watch Go Shiozaki versus Kento Miyahara. Their first singles match since March 27, 2015. I bet we reviewed that. I would like to actually go back and listen to that. I'm positive. We had to have reviewed that, right? March 27, 2015. That's at the point where we're doing weekly shows and it's 3 hours or whatever. Like, we definitely reviewed that match. Had to.
Yeah.
Especially Triple Crown. We're not skipping a Triple Crown title match at that point in 2015. So I'm sure we talked about it. But, Kento and Go. Kento got the win, defeated Go Shiozaki, straight jacket German, 1, 2, 3, clean as a sheet. They hugged afterwards, cut a promos back and forth. I don't know exactly what Kento said, but Go Shiozaki hugged. He kind of waved away to the crowd, and then he went to the back. So it seemed like a very weird finish for me. But what did you make of the match? And then we'll kind of talk about the post-match and how clean the win was. But what did you think of the actual bell-to-bell work between Go Shiozaki and Kento Miyahara here?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I think it's disheartening to see Go Shiozaki move to a new company and just join the latest black T-shirt brigade.
Mm-hmm. With face paint. He's got face paint on or whatever and a black T-shirt. And I'm like, oh, man.
Changed his gear. But the bell-to-bell match itself was a good, hard-hitting pro wrestling match. I'm surprised that they went to the Kento Miyahara Go Shiozaki match immediately 10 minutes after the guy got to the company.
Very strange.
That was a little surprising to me. You think maybe you'd want to build that a little more and maybe run it somewhere outside of Korakuen. I know they don't run much bigger buildings than Korakuen these days, but they ran this as a Korakuen match, and they ran it very quickly from when the guy entered the company. So they drew 13 something, which is
1322,
which is a good number for them in Korakuen. Okay, they haven't been putting 1,500 people, which is the new super no vacancy full house number in Korakuen for these promotions. And, so they did a nice number, but you would think that maybe the biggest match they have at this point is Kento Miyahara versus Go Shiozaki, right? And
for sure.
Immediately burned it off as soon as the guy got there. They did 1469 for the Royal Road final. All right, that's probably the biggest Korakuen they'll run all year. They did 983 a week before that. In July for the junior festival, they did 855. All right, that's a junior tournament. You kind of but see, we're doing a lot of all right. You throw that one out.
Right. There's like 4 or 5. You're like, all right, well, yeah, all right, well, all right, yeah.
Well, here you go. June 18th. Jun Saito versus Hideki Suzuki. 1196. And as noted, Jun Saito was kind of running out of steam.
Yeah.
On the
it was
back
starting
end of his
to
title
lose
run. And Hideki Suzuki has never drawn a dime. Carnival night in May drew 1187, and it was a loaded Carnival night with Kento and Jun Saito on top. April, another Carnival date, did 1095. So I think you kind of get the idea. What they do, 13, what I say?
1322.
Yeah, there's another Carnival night with Kento and Suzuki on top that did 1105. Let me do one more before the Carnival started. In March with tag title match with Kento and Yuma winning the titles from the Saitos. That's a legit main event. This is a fair show to look at, right? Saitos
versus Kento and Yuma. Yeah.
That did 1355.
Okay. All right.
So really, outside of the Royal Road final, this show did in the range of a high-end Korakuen this year for All Japan, which you would expect with Go Shiozaki jumping.
Yeah, his return to All Japan and a Triple Crown title match with Kento. I mean, that's like I said, that's the biggest match that they have on their books right now. Well, had on their books.
So why not build it for a bigger show?
I agree. I don't know. It's very strange. I had no idea the match even happened. Like I woke up today and I was just kind of thumbing through results and upcoming shows and shows that happened, and I saw an All Japan show happen. I went, oh, okay, cool. And I clicked it and I was like, Kento and Go? What? I had no idea they were doing it already. And I guess that kind of ties into the match review as well, which I thought it was a good match. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed a lot of it. Go, obviously, with the chops. Was just great to hear in Korakuen Hall and an All Japan ring again, just throwing those chops and going like crazy. I would say it lacked a little bit of like hatred. I thought there'd be a little bit more juice and a little bit more hatred to it, because these are guys that have been, for the large part, career rivals, really. I mean, dating back to their days in Noah. I mean, when Kento was coming up in Noah, and Go was kind of the established guy there. You have, diamond ring matches between these guys. There's a lot there. If you dig into the history of the two, there's a ton of history between Kento Miyahara and Go Shiozaki. And I thought that they didn't really work on that too much at the beginning of the match. It was just kind of like a normal ass match. It was like Kento Miyahara's here, Go Shiozaki's back, and now let's have a match. And I was like, man, this is the first time you guys have wrestled in almost 10 years. This is the first, this is a match with some real impact, some real juice to it. There's some real hatred between you guys. There's some real history between you guys. And I thought they didn't quite get to that level. With that said, I thought it was really good. I mean, I thought these were two very good wrestlers. And I like the idea of Go Shiozaki in All Japan now, because he just adds another guy that just can go out there and beat the shit out of guys and throw bombs and throw big chops or whatever. So yeah, he's going to be a very welcome addition to the All Japan main event scene. But then, as the match is getting to its waning spots, and there was a couple times where Go would have these, very, like, real close near falls, and the crowd was gasping, like, oh my God, he's going to do it, he's going to do it. And I think the crowd, in a way, kind of thought he was going to do it. Like, he would do a move and go for the pinfall, and the crowd would be like, oh, here it is, 1, 2, and then Kento would kick out. And the crowd went nuts, and they would go nuts with every single kick out. But I think they all kind of resigned themselves to the faith that, okay, Go Shiozaki just came back. He just joined the new heel stable. He's probably winning this match. Kento just won the title back, but that makes sense. He's going to be a transitional champion. It's going to go to Go Shiozaki, and we're going to build up to, Kento getting that title back from Go at some point down the line at a bigger show or whatever. And then Kento just locked in the straitjacket German, did it. 1, 2, 3, and it was over. And I was like, it's a little weird. And then after the match, I thought there's going to be a beatdown, and then the Havoc guys are going to beat Kento Miyahara down, and Go's going to be like, no, that's not it. And then Go's just like, hey, can we have a hug? And Kento's like, yeah, sure. And then they hug, and then Go leaves, and he waves to the crowd, and he leaves. And I'm just like, what? It felt like, are we sure this guy's here full time? Like, I know he is, right? I assume he is. It was a very weird, very definitive end to the match and the moment afterwards. It just felt very like they were not building up to the next. It's not like he ran down again and then, he didn't hug the guy and then run down and beat him down again. It was just a very, I don't know. It felt very, had like a final chapter to it. And that just, I don't know. That didn't sit right with me. It just seemed weird. I mean, he just beat him easily.
He did. And it's like, then, you got this big jump. This guy comes in, you put him in your top heel stable, or what will be your top heel stable, presumably. And then you just beat him in his first big match back. It's strange. I agree. It's strange. And I can't really, it must just be, look, when you're a promotion operating at this level, you must just want that fucking big Korakuen house right away.
And we have to be honest with ourselves too, with Go Shiozaki and his injury history. They may have just said, we don't know if he's going to be healthy in 6 months. So let's just let's sell 1322 right now with him, and we'll come back. If he's healthy in 6 months, we'll come back to it. But right now, let's just get 1322 in Korakuen right now.
He didn't look great physically. He looks smaller in frame.
He did. He definitely, yeah. He definitely was not as big.
Kento looked bigger than him.
Yeah.
And now look, that could be one of those things where I haven't seen them next to each other in a long time. And maybe Kento's just a bigger human than Go Shiozaki, but in my mind, Go Shiozaki's bigger than him. But Go was not as beefy as he usually is. And I understand he's coming off an injury. Maybe he couldn't lift. He is 43. But Kento looked like the bigger human. And I didn't expect
that's the first time. That's the first time in any of their matches ever where Kento looked bigger than Go Shiozaki. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I mean, so Go was not in his best physical form. He wrestled fine. His wrestling was good. I didn't have any problem with his wrestling. They had a really good match. I would recommend people go watch it. But yeah, it was clean. It was definitive. He put him in the straitjacket German. He beat him in the center of the ring, and then Go just kind of like rolled out of the ring. His boys patted him on
They
the
did the
back.
hug. They did this thing where Kento's cutting a promo, and then all of a sudden Go's like, come on, give me a hug. And then Kento's like, I don't know. Like, you're with these guys and you and I. And he's just like, all right, fine. They give a hug. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Now the Havoc guys are going to run in, or Go's going to drop him and say, no, we're not done yet, or whatever. Nah, he just rolled out of the ring, and then his guys.
He just rolled out and got
and then
out
he
of
waved.
there.
He waves, and then he goes to the back, and I'm like, all right. So then Kento cuts another promo, and I'm like, oh, here, Go's going to come back. And then fucking Hokuto Omori comes out. I'm no.
Yeah.
I do not want to watch that.
And then we're back to light and pop because everyone's just yucking it up. The fans are laughing. You know,
because Kento's like, are you fucking serious? I don't know what he was saying, but I think it was like, are you fucking serious? You suck. I don't want to give you a title shot, essentially.
Yeah, well, I like how you create your own headcanon promos when you don't know.
It felt like it was that kind of felt like that was the promo, though, right? I mean, Kento was like pointing at him, and the crowd's like, ha 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 ha, and he's like, you know. In my mind, it's like, you suck, dude. I'm not giving you a title shot. But
well, I didn't even see any of that because I exited out of there. I didn't. So what you're telling me is news to me. So I'm just taking.
Yeah, like Omori ran in, and then he was just like, and he cut a promo or whatever, and then Kento just kind of like looked at him and had this look on his face, like, you, and the crowd's like, ha 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 ha, like and then Kento like asked the crowd something, and the crowd's like, no, and they all just like laugh, and I'm like. In my mind, it was just like Omori being like, I want a shot. And Kento's being like, what have you done to earn a shot? Get the fuck out of here. So I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know if that's actually what the story was. But again, it was just a very definitive end to the Go Shiozaki match. So I don't know. I don't know. It was odd.